When I booked a flight to the Philippines, I thought it would just be another trip, another stamp on my passport, another destination in Asia. I had been to Thailand, Vietnam, Japan, Malaysia, and I thought I knew what Asia was all about. But nothing prepared me for what the Philippines would do to me. From the moment I stepped out of the airport in Manila, I felt it. The air was thick and warm, the streets alive with jeepneys painted in wild colors, tricycles weaving through traffic, vendors calling out their goods. It was chaotic, loud, and overwhelming, yet somehow it felt alive in a way no other place had. And then there were the people, smiles everywhere, not forced, not polite, but real. In all my travels, I had never felt so welcomed. At first, I told myself this would just be a vacation. Beaches, food, culture, maybe some sightseeing. But destiny had other plans. The first few days in Manila were a blur of chaos and wonder. Jeepneys rattled past packed with passengers. Children shouted hello when they saw me, and vendors sold everything from fresh fruit to grilled street food. I tried halo for the first time, and it was like eating a rainbow in a glass. I stumbled through words in Tagalog, saying salamat with the wrong accent, and people laughed, not to mock me, but as if my effort made me belong. Friends told me if I wanted to feel the true heart of the Philippines, I had to leave the city. So I did. I boarded a long bus heading south, watching skyscrapers fade into rice fields, hills, and glimpses of the endless sea. Hours later, I arrived in a coastal town where mountains met the ocean and life moved to the rhythm of the waves. It was there, one golden evening, that I first saw her. The sun was sinking into the sea, painting the sky in orange and purple. Children played in the surf, fishermen hauled in nets, families cooked by the beach. And by a small fruit stand near the shore, I saw her. She wasn't trying to stand out. She wasn't dressed to impress. But something about her stopped me in my tracks. She had long black hair that danced with the breeze, skin kissed by the sun, and eyes that carried both innocence and depth. She laughed as she spoke to her younger siblings, and the sound of it was like music. I wasn't hungry, but I walked to the fruit stand anyway. She looked up, gave me a shy smile, and said softly, "Hello, sir." That was it. Just a word, just a smile. But it was the start of everything. I went back the next day, and the next. At first, I told myself it was for the mangoes, but the truth was I wanted to see her again. Her name was Maria. Simple, yet suddenly the most beautiful name I had ever heard. Our conversation started short, just greetings, but little by little they grew. She told me about her family, about helping her parents while studying hard because she dreamed of becoming a teacher. She spoke about life in the province, how it wasn't easy, but people found joy in simple things. Cooking together, singing karaoke, watching the stars. Listening to her made me reflect on my own life. I had money, comfort, the freedom to travel. But I realized I had been missing something deeper. Real connection, genuine joy. Days turned into weeks, and I found myself falling in love. Not the movie kind of love with fireworks and grand gestures, but a quieter kind. The kind that grows slowly, with every laugh, every walk along the beach, every shared story. I loved the way she cared for her siblings, the way she found something to smile about even when life was hard, the way she carried herself with strength and humility. One day, she invited me to her home. It was simple, wood and tin, but it overflowed with warmth. Her father greeted me with a strong handshake. Her mother cooked food that tasted better than anything money could buy, and her siblings surrounded me with questions and laughter. I realized then that in the Philippines, love isn't just between two people. It's shared. It's about family, belonging, acceptance. That night, under the stars, Maria whispered, "I don't want you to forget me when you go back." My chest ached. I promised her I wouldn't. As my trip neared its end, every moment felt more precious. We walked by the shore where we first met, sat on the hill overlooking her town, and spent evenings laughing under skies full of stars. But deep inside, I was afraid. Was this just a holiday romance? Would I leave and become just another traveler who promised but never returned? Could two worlds so different truly come together? The town fiesta arrived in my final week. The streets burst with music, food, and laughter. Maria pulled me into the crowd and we danced, we sang, we ate with strangers who treated me like family. That night, as fireworks lit the sky, I looked at her glowing in the light, and I knew. This wasn't just a fleeting memory. This was love. But love doesn't erase reality. The day of my departure came. We went back to the beach where it all began. The waves whispered softly, the sunset painted the horizon gold, and Maria's eyes glistened with tears. "Promise me you'll come back," she said. I hugged her tightly and whispered, "I will." It was the hardest goodbye of my life. On the bus back to Manila, I looked out the window until her town disappeared. On the plane, I pressed my forehead against the glass as the islands faded below. I wasn't just leaving a country. I was leaving my heart. Back home, everything felt the same, but nothing was. I carried Maria with me everywhere, her voice, her smile, her dreams. My life looked comfortable, but inside I knew I was missing the one thing that made it truly alive. My trip had never been about beaches or food or sightseeing. It had been about finding what I didn't even know I was searching for: love. When people ask me about the Philippines, I don't just talk about the islands or the food. I tell them about a sunset on the shore of a small town. I tell them about a fruit stand where a girl with a shy smile said hello. I tell them about a family who welcomed me as one of their own. And I tell them about Maria, who taught me that true happiness isn't about where you go or what you have. It's about who you share it with. I thought I came to discover a country. Instead, I discovered love.